So to get things started, the first thing you're going to want to do is log into your New York State MLS account. If you've never logged into your account, you may not have one yet. That's okay. You can always join. New York State MLS is a statewide MLS, and we've become the largest MLS in the entire New York because we cover every square inch of our great state, all the way from the eastern tip of Long Island to the Ohio border. So we cover all 62 counties, including the 5 boroughs. So wherever you can be in New York, you can list property there. As a licensee in New York, you can sell and list properties anywhere in the state, and our system allows you to do that without listings being marked as out of area or other or not in system. New York State MLS works everywhere in the state, so you can list properties anywhere. And for those that may be licensed in multiple states, our system also allows you to go ahead and put in those listings from other states as well. We can simply just modify your account to allow you to put listings in from New Jersey, from Massachusetts, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, wherever you're licensed, even if you're licensed in California or Florida. As long as you've got your license there, we can help you get your system, get your account set up so you can go ahead and put those listings in anywhere. So we're at nystatemls.com. This is where you would log into your account. We'll go ahead and click login. I've already logged into my account, so we're going to get brought right to my page here. So this is what we call our member wall. Now this is a page that is going to give you access to all of the different features of your New York State MLS account. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit just to make it a little bit bigger for you to see. There we go. And what's great about our wall is we've made it completely customizable. You'll see I've got all of these different widgets and tools that I can go ahead, move around, and organize into any which way I'd like. And let's just take a look at some of the widgets that we have available to you. Currently on my current view, we can see we've got my quick search, which allows me to do a quick search of the listings within the database. I've got my saved carts, and we'll go through carts in a little bit. Carts are just what they sound like, just like when you're shopping online on Amazon or on Target. You've got an online cart, but instead of putting shoes and shirts in there, we're going ahead and putting in different properties into our cart. That cart can then be saved. We can email it to a client. We can email it to a customer. We can even put those listings that are in our cart into a CMA. So let's say we're doing a CMA for one of our potential selling clients. We can go ahead, create that CMA for them, and determine what we should be listing their property for. Next to that, we've got our company listings. This allows me to see all of the listings that are within my company, so all my in-house listings listed by my colleagues. Going to the bottom row, we've got my CMA, so this is my comparative market analysis for any of the different properties that I may be listing or trying to list for potential clients. And below that, I've got my listings. So I'm seeing these 5 widgets because this is what I've set my wall up, and you'll see my CMAs and my carts. I set them to have a blue border because they're kind of similar in what they do, whereas my listings are in green as well as company listings. So I know that my listings are in green, my carts and CMAs are blue, and my quick search is in that darker blue. We can always go ahead and change that as well. So you'll see the other widget that we currently have available is a mortgage calculator. What we can actually do is I can change the color of that to this purple simply by clicking on a gear icon and modifying that. So say I want my listings and my company listings to be a red. I click the gear icon next to each one, and now they've changed to red. So now I know listings are in red, saved listings and CMAs are going to be in blue. So now I can kind of color coordinate my system based on what each widget is representing. And again, we can always go ahead, move them around. If I want my stuff on top, my listings on the bottom, I can go ahead and do that. Let's move these back up. So now everything pertaining to searching would be like that. There we go. That's perfect. Say we don't want the mortgage calculator. I click on the widget, uncheck mortgage calculator. That's disappeared. And what's great about our system is that we also are always adding and updating new features. We're actually working on some new widgets that will be available to members within the coming weeks or coming months. We're always adding new tools, and we listen to our members. So if there's something that you think would be a great tool that would be useful to yourself and other members of the MLS, by all means, give us an email, contact us. We would love to hear from you because we try to make our system as beneficial as to you because we're in the business to help you do yours. So if there's something you want to see in here, let us know. We'd be happy to add it. So that's the new profile wall with these customizable widgets. So the other new thing that you may be noticing on our page is our sidebar here on the top. On the left-hand side is our new sidebar. This is going to give you access to the main features of the site. And going down, we can see I've got my menu where I can hide my sidebar. Say I don't need it, I can go ahead and hide it. We're going to take a look at it, so I'm going to click it again, and it's just going to pop back open for me. I've got my basic information here. You'll see as I hover my mouse over change photo, or over my photo, it'll say change photo, so I can always go ahead and upload a new profile pic. I've got a cart, so I've got some listings already in a cart that I was working on before. I've got my listings. I've got add new listing. I can search for listings. I can go to my clients and customers, so this is going to be my electronic Rolodex of my customers and clients. I can go ahead, edit my account. I can view our resources and forms, or I can access Find. For those that have been using New York State MLS for a while, you understand that Find is our #1 search tool that anyone should be using. This is one of the most powerful tools a salesperson or realtor or broker can use because it's going to allow you to see listings not only from your MLS, but from the different MLSs, not only across New York, but across the entire country. And of course, we'll be going into that as well because I want to really show you how that works. Now going across the top, we've got our wall, which is what we're looking at now. I've got an account drop-down, which allows me to edit my account or password. I can view my message inbox. So if another member of the MLS reaches out to you and they want to request a showing or they have a question about a property, not only will that be sent to your actual email address, they'll be stored here as well. We also have our calendar, so this is where you'll have a calendar of any showings that you have set up, as well as open houses. Our resources and forms page again, which we'll take a look at that because there's a lot of good things in there that you may want to utilize, as well as logging out of our account. I'm an office admin for the office here, so I also have this. This is great for office admins, people at the office that may be putting in listings on behalf of the agents there. We can grant them this. And this allows you to manage the offices, the agents, as well as the listings, because we know office admins in a company may be putting in listings on behalf of the agents. They may be modifying them, uploading the prices, or excuse me, changing the prices, uploading photos, and those can all be done within one admin account rather than having to log into each individual agent's membership. To the right of that, we have our listings drop-down. This is where, again, I can add a new listing, view my different listings of all the different statuses. I can view my company listings. We can go back and see what's in my cart. You'll see I have my saved carts, which again are those carts that we put properties in for a customer or client. We save that cart, and then we can always pull that up at a later date. I've got my hot sheet, which is similar to a day book. Different local MLSs call it different things, but this is going to show you the newest listings based on status, price change, even what's been sold or expired. Then we have two informational tabs about AdWorks. AdWorks is a third-party tool that we've given a great discount to our members for, and what it is it allows you to create ads that appear on Facebook, CNN, Yahoo News, and you can pay for this third-party service to go ahead and get your listings out in front of clients that you may not necessarily have been able to reach before. And all of our members that use it through New York State MLS are actually going to get a great discount on it. So something always to look into as well. Next, we have our search dropdown where we can get access to Find. We can search the listings within the New York State MLS database, and then we can also search our members as well as the tax records where we have them. Lastly is our clients dropdown. Again, this is where we're going to be able to see our electronic Rolodex of our clients and customers that we have, as well as create CMAs for them. And lastly is our logout button. So now moving on from here, we're going to actually go in, take a look at the different aspects of the site. Before we do that, I just want to bring your attention to the GoToWebinar client. You'll see that there is a questions tab on there. I know some people have already been asking questions as we move forward, but if you have questions as we go through this presentation today, please go ahead, ask questions. I'll keep an eye on it. We also have other staff here that are in the webinar with us. They'll be answering your questions as well. And of course, at the end, I'll go over a lot of questions as well, so we'll open up the floor for questions as well. So if you'd like, again, go ahead to that GoToWebinar questions tab. Ask questions throughout the entire presentation. We'll be either answering them aloud or privately to you. All you do is open it up and just type out your question. So let's go ahead and let's create a brand new listing. Again, to do that, we have our listings drop down. I can click Add New Listing from there, or I can click Add New Listing from my sidebar. And as we go forward, Steve already asked a question. He says he does strictly commercial. Is that okay? So we do have commercials. So what I'm going to do, Steve, is I'm going to show you the different options that we have when it comes to adding a listing. So I'm going to click blank listing here. And under property type, you can see all of the different property types that we have available to the system. So we have all of our residential types, whether it's a house, it's a condo, it's a farmhouse, if it's a farm or estate. We have our multi-unit buildings. And then here we go, this is for Steve, where we have commercial listings. So you've got a commercial listing, a building, a business, a commercial lease, or a commercial unspecified. We also have vacant land for those just selling the land. And what's great about the system is the way our listing wizard is set up, instead of being one long listing sheet, our system actually breaks it down into 8 steps, so they're in smaller bite-sized properties, or smaller bite-sized steps, which means you don't have to worry about filling out one long sheet all at once. Instead, with our listing wizard, when you go to the next step, your listing is being saved as a draft, so you never have to worry about losing what you've been working on. In addition to that, when we go ahead, depending on the status that we select, this is actually, the listing wizard changes itself, it modifies itself. So we're just going to do a house for now, but if we were to pick a multi-unit or a commercial building, the listing wizard would add an additional page pertaining to multi-units. It would allow us to say what type of unit is each one of those units in the building, whether it's a commercial unit, is it a residential unit, and we can go ahead and modify that. And the listing wizard is going to go ahead and change itself based on the type of listing that we're doing. And one of the great ways to show you how it does that is we're going to do this, we're doing a for sale listing, but you'll see we also have auction listings as well as rentals, monthly, yearly, as well as seasonal. But you'll see if I click for sale auction, the listing wizard is automatically going to go ahead and change itself to allow me to put in the criteria that's pertains specifically to auction listings, including the auction start date and time. And you'll see it doesn't have list price anymore. It now has my starting bid. So because our listing wizard knows that I'm doing an auction listing, it automatically changed that for me. But we're just going to do a regular sale. All that auction criteria disappears, and it's just going to have listing price. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my price. And now what I can do here is I can go through and start making my listing. First off, starting with the address. You'll see as we go through, we've got different fields. Some are in red, some are in black. Anything that's in red is going to be a required field. If you leave it blank, you're not going to be able to proceed to the next step. And our system will tell you, letting you know that you left a field blank. So we're just going to go ahead, put in an address here. And you'll see again, anything that is in black is not a required field, but of course you're going to want to put in as much information as possible. Once I've filled out my first page, I'm going to go ahead and click Next Step. So perfect. What's great is, again, I've hit next step. My listing has now been saved as a draft, and I can always leave and come back at a later date. Let's say I started it, I realized, oh shoot, I have a listing appointment at 10:30 I need to get to. I can stop where I'm at now and not worry about getting, losing my information. So now that we're at the second step, we put in our address, and we can see a pin is popped in right where that address is. But let's say that's actually not where it is. It's actually at this corner. All I have to do is go ahead and grab that pin and move it over here. So now it's going to change. It's going to modify the latitude and longitude of where this property is, so that way it's going to change and display properly not only on New York State MLS, but on all the syndicated sites that we send to. We do some of the best syndication when it comes to your listings, and we're going to go over that in just a second, because we're going to go over that in the next page. So once I've adjusted my pin, you can see I can move it anywhere. Let's say it's actually way up here. I could do that, but it was right on the money, so we're going to put it right where it was. We'll go ahead and click next step, and now we're going to move forward again. Every time I'm clicking next step, my listing is being saved. Lisa had a great question, I believe it was Lisa, wondering if you have to be a broker to join. Not at all. Our system is designed to be used by any licensed professional. So if you're just a salesperson, you can absolutely join and pay for yourself. We don't require entire offices to join. Of course, we do have office pricing for offices that want to sign up as a whole. We can go over that in a little bit. But we do allow individuals to sign up, whether you're an individual broker, just a salesperson working under a broker. We do allow that. If you're just a salesperson wanting to use the system, we do require that your broker just agrees to our terms and just acknowledges that you're using it. All they do is they sign off on a broker participation form. There is no cost to your broker, no cost to your company. They are just acknowledging that you would be using the system to market your properties. So moving forward, we've got our listing type. So we see we've got exclusive, limited exclusive, and exclusive agency. So this is an exclusive right to sell, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. Our list date is today. I'm going to set it to expire tomorrow, just because this is not a real listing that we're listing today. We're just doing this for demonstration purposes. Then next, again, you have to agree to the listing terms and conditions to put your listing in the MLS. And of course, you have to have permission from the seller to post this listing. All listings put into the MLS should have a valid listing contract, so we'll make sure that you put that in there as well. So you're going to check that and say yes. And next is the syndication feeds. A moment ago I said we do a lot when it comes to syndication, and it's very true. So what we do for listing syndication is we send to the top 5 sites here in the U.S. Directly. So we do a direct syndication feed to Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes and Home Finder. And with those direct syndications that we've set up with those sites, they all offer different perks. So on Zillow and Trulia, every time your listing is sent to them through New York State MLS, you are going to appear as the listing agent at the top of your listing each and every time. So even if you're not a premier agent on Zillow or Trulia, you are still going to appear at the top of your listing marked as the listing agent, which means that if a potential customer goes ahead and they see that information, they can see you marked as the listing agent. They have the ability to go ahead and click your name to send you to send you an email asking about the property. So that's just a way to get added exposure. On Homes and Home Finder, we do even a little bit more. On those 2 sites, you're going to be prominently displayed as the listing agent. And anytime someone clicks that feedback form wanting more information, you're going to get a copy of that email lead sent to you every single time. And that's with Homes and Home Finder. Additionally, with those 2 sites, as well as List Hub, we allow you to put in your contact information directly into the property description. So when you go through and you say, I'd like, you'd say, great home, must see, must see to believe. For more information, I can put call Dave at iHeart Realty at 555-555-4444 or email Dave at nystatemls.com. And that will be another way that these potential customers can reach out to you directly to make sure you're getting the most exposure on your listings. And again, that's to homes.com, Home Finder, as well as a lot of the List Hub sites. And we send, List Hub sends listings to about 6 dozen sites across the country. Landwatch, Lands of America, the list goes on and on. We also do international syndication, which is a great feature that you can't really get everywhere. And we send that out to 20 different sites around the globe, including Juwai. And Juwai is the #1 search site in China. And why that's so important is China has the Great Wall of China. They also have a very great firewall. And what that means is people in China, they can't access a lot of sites really anywhere outside of their country. They can't go to Amazon. They can't go to Google. They can't go to Facebook. They can't go to Zillow and Trulia. So where do they go? They go to Juwai. And Juwai is that #1 search site in China. And millions and millions of dollars of transactions happen on Juwai every single year, with the U.S. being the #1 destination for those international buyers, and New York State being the #1 destination for them within the U.S. So getting your New York listings in front of those Chinese buyers using Juwai, a great thing to have in your arsenal. And when I talk about these things, these are things that you could talk to your potential clients about. So you go to a listing appointment, you can tell them, this is what I'm going to do beyond what, agent A and B said they were going to do for you before they, when you met them before you met me. And I'll show you some marketing tools and sheets that you can print up and put in your listing folders as you go ahead and meet these potential clients. So what you can do is we also allow you to have full control as to where your listing syndicates. So if you don't want it in the IDX, you uncheck IDX. You don't want it on Realtor.com, uncheck Realtor.com. But you have full control over which sites you want your listing to be sent out to. Below that, we have our showing instructions. So this is where you can say, call 24 hours in advance. And these are going to be seen by the members. So this is where we have different information. So if we've got a lockbox somewhere, a combo box, we can say what the combo is, where it is, things like that. Below that is our commission information. We've got our total commission as well as our commission splits. The total commission is a required field. However, this will not be seen by any other members besides yourself and your firm. So this is a company private field. No one else is going to see the total commission split. What other members will see, and only members, not the public, they will see the agent split. So here you'll see this isn't a red field, so it's not required, but they are purple, which means at least one of them must be filled out. So we're going to do the buyer's agent split, and we're just going to do an even 3 and 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3% there. Again, total commission is a required field. For the splits, at least one needs to be filled out. Below that, we've got owner information. Just the owner's name and primary phone is a required field. And again, I reiterate, these are going to remain completely private to you. These are not going to be seen by the public. This is not going to be seen by other members. This is just seen by you and is put in there to determine and to reiterate that the listing that you're putting in is a valid listing contract with the actual homeowner's information. Again, if we want, we can go ahead, put in the owner's information here. Again, remains private to us, so we can just have it for our records. Any other owner's notes, as well as the type of sale. This is just a typical listing, but let's say it was also a bank-owned foreclosure. We could go ahead, check those off, and that's going to be marked on the listing. It's also going to be sent out to syndicated sites. So if someone was searching just foreclosure listings on Zillow, they would be able to see this because it's marked as a foreclosure. We're going to go ahead to the next step. And now here's where we can go ahead and put in more detailed information about the property. We've got the date that it's available. It's available right away. Our residential style, so we have various different styles of the property. Just a postmodern, oops, want to put traditional. We've got the year it was built, any renovations, and renovation comments. We've got our lot size, the total number of bedrooms and bathrooms. Perfect. Now that we've done basic information about the property, we are now going to move to the inside, where we're going to be able to talk about the number of bedrooms, or excuse me, number of rooms, which types of rooms there are, our kitchen type and countertops, what appliances are with the property, our flooring type, our heat type, heat fuel, whether or not there's central air, and the basement area if there is a basement. Once we've done the inside of the property, we're moving to the outside. This is where we're going to talk about the siding type, the roofing type, what kind of driveway there is, whether exterior amenities or outbuildings there are. So here we can say there's a deck, there's a fence. We can even talk about if there's waterfront or the type of view that the property has. And again, anything that we do through the listing wizard now, not set in stone. We can always go ahead and modify this at any time. We never have to worry about this being permanent. Okay. So now that we've done the inside of the house, we've done the outside of the house, we're now taking a look at the community and building features. So let's say this property was in a gated community, or it had an HOA. This is where we'd go ahead and fill that information out here. This is just a standalone building. It's not in an HOA. It's not in a gated community. So we're going to go ahead and just leave all of this blank and go right to the next step. So here's one of the most important aspects of a listing, and that's our marketing text. So the first thing we're going to want to do is put in a marketing headline. Call it Great Home in a Great Neighborhood. This is where, again, you put in the whole property description, talk about everything that you want. We give you lots of room to go ahead and type out what you want to discuss there. And here's where we set ourselves apart from a lot of different other systems, is with the branded postfix. This is where, again, on Homes and Home Finder and a lot of those list hub sites I mentioned, you can go ahead and put in your contact information right into the property description. So this is where that's going to go. So this is going to automatically be added to my property description when it's seen by the public. Perfect. After we've done that, we're going to go ahead and talk about our private remarks. This is what's going to be seen by other members of New York State MLS and only members of New York State MLS. So here we can put in other things, say 24 hours notice needed. We could also put, we can talk about what's in the first floor. What's on the second floor. So on and so forth. After that is where we've got our virtual tour link as well as a YouTube URL link. These are great tools to have because this is, again, going to give you more added exposure on your listing. Virtual tour links sometimes appear on sites like Zillow and Trulia, so anything that you can utilize is a great thing to have. If you don't have a virtual tour link, don't let this field go wasted. Have it go back to your company website. So if you have one, just have it go to, mycompany.com, or if you've got this property listed on your company's website, have it go to mycompany.com/123 Main Street. Wherever you have, don't let this field go unused. Absolutely use it. And then we have our YouTube link. So let's say you've got a YouTube video for this property. Go ahead and put that there. We'll see is the difference between these two is the virtual tour link goes to a separate page, whereas YouTube videos stay embedded to the listing so we don't leave the page. So we're going to go ahead, save that, and now we've got our tax and fee information, where we could go ahead and put in our taxes and fees. Again, they aren't required for the listing to go live, but of course you're going to want your listing to be as complete and full as possible, so you may want to fill that out if you have those details. And again, we can always go back and add them at any time. Next is our listing photo. So this is where we're going to be able to go ahead and upload photos to a listing. And what's great about our system is we make it incredibly easy to upload photos. We allow you to send up to 36 photos to your listing, and they can be in high resolution full screen photos. So when browsing, customers are going to be able to see your properties in the best light possible. And just to show you how easy it is, I'm going to bring in my screen here. So here I've got a file, here's just my regular file browser. I'm going to open up my listing here. I've got a folder specifically for this property with all my photos. I'm just going to highlight them all with my mouse. I'm going to drag them in to the box, let go, and you'll see all my photos are right there. I'm going to click Start Upload, and what the system is going to do now is it's going to go ahead, upload all of my photos to the listing all at one time. There's no more need for uploading photos one at a time, waiting for it all to download, then do the next one, then the next one, the next one. Do all of your pictures at once, and you'll never have to waste time. There's no more wasted time anymore when it comes to uploading your photos. Now that my pictures have been uploaded, here's where I can go ahead and put in, I can reorganize, put in my captions. Put in all my captions here. Once I've done all my captions, reorganize my photos, I click Next Step. Right now you're not seeing it here, but I have it turned off right now, but after you've uploaded your photos, you'd also be prompted for a listing contract. So you would upload your listing contract the same exact way you would upload your photos. All you do is drag and drop a PDF into the listing if you're prompted for it, and you'll put it in that way. Once you've done that, we'd be able to view the listing, and if everything's okay, we'll be able to either hit the Go Live button, or you may have a Send for Approval button. So if you have to upload your listing contract, you may have a Send for Approval button, which will then allow your listing to be just approved by our team to make sure everything is set to go. So you can see here's the listing that we filled out. There's a lot of stuff on here. We filled out everything here. We can see it's marked as foreclosure and bank owned like we did before. And you'll see below my picture I've got my captions. We've got my virtual tour as well as the video tour and the full screen slideshow. So remember I said we allow you to send us those full screen high-res photos that is going to really put your property in that best light possible. Remember I said virtual tours go to a separate page, so you'll see it opens it up and goes to a completely different page. Who is that good-looking man? Oh, that's right, it's me. But that's the virtual tour. If we click video tour, that's going to remain right on the site We're not leaving New York State MLS. It's just an embedded video that we can then go ahead, open up, and we're not leaving the listing within New York State MLS. So Florence wanted to know, what's the criteria for videos? Can you pull from your phone or other video services? Right now, with the video tour, that is strictly for YouTube. So if you've got it on another service, you'll go ahead and use the virtual tour link. Again, there's two different options. You've got the video tour, which is YouTube, and then the virtual tour. So if you've got videos on a different site, go ahead and use that virtual tour page link, and that'll just open up to the service that you're using. So again, we're looking at my listing. Below that, we can see open houses. Great way to share your property is an open house, and we make it incredibly easy to add an open house. All it is drop-down menus. We select our date, our start time, our end time, and whether it's for the company only, for brokers only, or the public. So if it's a public listing, open house, this is actually going to get sent out to those third-party sites. So it'll go on Zillow and Truly and Realtor.com. So when potential customers are doing their searches on a Saturday morning trying to see what open houses are in the area, this would populate on there. One of the big rules of thumb is make sure you schedule an open house early because, again, it may take 24 hours for an open house to appear. So scheduling a Saturday morning open house on Friday night may not be beneficial because it may not be able to appear long enough and populate for those potential buyers to see. Again, I'm looking at my own listing, so we can see that I can see the property owner's information, but again, that's going to remain private. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make this listing live real quick. And I'll show you exactly what it looks like. When the public is looking at the listing, they'll see it's listed by me. We've got this nice new view. They can click the virtual tour. They can see that there's an open house scheduled. It's got that open house button there, so they know an open house is coming. And there it is. We've got my property description, again with my contact information right there on the bottom. We've got our details and other features, so perfect. Back to the agent full again. We're looking at my own listing, so I do see the contact information for that property owner. Other members of the system will not see that. Again, that is a private field only to you. So now that we've made a listing, how can we search listings? Well, we can go to the search. Again, we have our Access Find, which is our nationwide search tool, and we'll go over that for sure, as well as searching the listings in the database. But before we do that, I just wanted to bring to your attention the social media buttons. Once we've made a listing, one of the main things we're going to want to do is we want to share it. We want other people to see it. And you'll see with the social media buttons, we can share it to Facebook, to Twitter, to Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Google+. To do that, all you have to do is click on one of the buttons. So let's say I want to share it to Facebook. It's going to open up a pop-up window here, and I can share it to my personal timeline. I can share it to a friend's timeline. Say I listed it and said, or say I'm friends with the seller of this home. I can share it to their wall and say, hey, here's your property, take a look. I can share it to a group, an event, or even a page I manage. So let's say I've got a David Mink broker page. I could go ahead and share it to that page. We can do the same thing with Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Google+. So great way to share your listings on social media without having to jump through a lot of hoops. So now let's go ahead and let's search for listings. So one of the other ways that we can search is through the hot sheet. Again, the hot sheet is going to show us the newest listings that are either new to market, have a recent price change, also ones that have been marked as sold or recently expired. So let's just take a quick look at the hot sheet, and we're going to take a look at what's new to market. So here we can see all of the different listings that are new to market. And this view is one of my favorite views. This is the list with preview view. And we actually allow you to have different views when doing your search. We allow you to create a specific view that is preferable to you. So let's go ahead and do a search. I'm going to search listings. We're just going to see houses that are active. I'm just going to click search right now. And again, right now I'm using the list with preview. So this gives me a list of all the properties that matched my search results. And as I click each one, the preview, it gives me that full agent view here on the left-hand side. And again, you can see because I'm looking at someone else's listings, I'm not seeing any owner information. I don't see any of that private details that we saw on my own listing. Again, I can't see that full commission split, but I can see the buyer's commission split. So great way to be able to see the listing as another member. Let's go to the Tools tab, and this is going to be able to see where I can change my different views. Again, we're looking at the list with preview. We also have a map feature, which allows us to see the different listings. And what's great about this tool is we can actually draw on the map and even narrow down my search results based on the shape that I drew. So now I drew on the map, and now I'm only looking at properties within that area that I drew. Again, I can click on each property. If I click View Listing, it's going to open up a new page for me. I can also click Details, and that'll open up that new page as well. So that's the map view. We also have our list view. This is a great view for when using it on a phone, because this is just a nice long list with a nice thumbnail of the properties. Again, we can click on one, opens it right up for us. We can even scroll and scrub through the different listings by clicking the next button found at the top. We can go back to preview or previous, or we can go back to the search results. This is the list view. We also have thumbnails, which is a great view for your computer because this is just going to give us a nice long sheet. Again, instead of having that long straight list that's designed for phones, this goes in columns, so we can see a lot more listings this way. And our final view is our spreadsheet. So exactly what it sounds like. This is a spreadsheet view of the different properties matching our criteria. And what's great about the spreadsheet is even the spreadsheet is customizable. Let's say I want my photos, the first thing I see, I can bring them over here, followed by the price, the number of bedrooms, and then the bathrooms. This way I can kind of just scrub through, match everything by that. I like this view. I can go ahead, go back to my tools drop down, and I can make my default spreadsheet. So this view is now my preferred view when looking at the spreadsheet. It's also great is I can click, you'll see any of the fields that have an arrow up or down allows me to be able to filter or organize by that way. So right now I'm filtering by price high to low, or I can go low to high. I can filter by bedrooms, starting with the highest number of bedrooms moving on up, or moving on down, or the other way. I can filter by bathrooms. We can also sort by square footage, the address, the lot size. So there's a lot of different things that we can filter out through and sort by using the spreadsheet view. Let's say I really like the thumbnails view when I do my searches. All I have to do is open that up from the tools drop down and make the default search view. So now every time I do a search, I'm going to get my search results in this view. And this is always changeable. I can always go ahead and modify that at any time. Again, we have our filters. So let's say we are looking for properties strictly with 2 to 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. I can set that criteria, click search, and that's going to filter out my listings to that area. And those that want to get more in-depth in searching, again, we are always here. You can call us for support, email us. We also have training sheets, which again, to get to training sheets, we'll go ahead and go on to the next section or next chapter of our training. And that's going to be found on resources and forms or the listings form button. So we've got listing forms found on the left sidebar menu. We also have them on the account drop-down under resources and forms. Here you'll see we've got different listing contracts. We have different listing sheets. So say you're getting ready to go to a listing appointment. We can go ahead and print up the single family listing sheet. And this is going to allow us to go ahead and everything that we saw in the listing wizard, every single one of those fields is going to be on this listing sheet. So now we can go ahead and make sure every single field that we get is going to be filled out properly because there are no surprises. We know exactly what fields are on that listing form because we have it right here in front of us. Above that we have seller benefits, your home on New York State MLS. This goes over some of the benefits of New York State MLS. Again, this is one of the sheets I mentioned that you should put in a listing folder, as well as the one here, listing syndication. This shows a potential seller exactly what's going to be, where their listing can go. Again, it shows us our direct syndication to those top 5 sites, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes and Home Finder. We've got our list hub syndication to those 6 dozen other sites across the country, as well as the 20 different sites that we send to internationally. And this sheet, gives the potential seller something physical that they can look at and see what you can help do for them. And for those asking where that is again, you can get to that from the listing forms drop-down, the listing forms button on your left sidebar menu, or from the account drop-down under resources and forms. That's under certificates and marketing tools. You can print up your member badge, as well as get the marketing logo for New York State MLS. We also talk about international syndication, but those sheets that we mentioned is your home on New York State MLS, as well as the New York State MLS listing syndication. While we're here, let's also take a look at the training sheets and videos. Here we've got various different training sheets based on the different aspects of the site. You'll see we've got training sheets, which again, single one-page sheets that give you the basic information on how to use a system, as well as training videos pertaining specifically on that topic. And we're adding more training sheets, more training videos, so you'll be able to go through and watch these at your leisure anytime that you need them. Some people may want, and what's great about the training sheets is since we've made them specifically one page each, you can go ahead, print these up, and go ahead and create essentially your own handbook. You don't have to worry about going to this page ever again. You can go ahead, just print it up, and be able to have a training book that you can access at any time. So real fast, before we move on to the next section, I want to bring in our president, Dawn Pfaff. She had a few things that she wanted to mention. So let's see what's going on with her. Hey, Dawn, how are you?
Hi, Dave. How you doing? We have a lot of people on the call today, so I just wanted to pop in here and say hello to everybody. And I wanted to find out if anybody out there needed some extra training. You could certainly request that from us. We can do, if you have your entire company, you'd like to get some training directly for your company, we can always set those up with you. And also, if anyone out there needs a website, we have IDX listings for websites. We have thousands, tens of thousands of listings that you could add to your website if you're looking to generate more leads. So anybody out there looking to generate more leads, you can do that by adding New York State MLS listings to your website, making yourself look humongous, making your business look humongous. If you have any questions, maybe we should talk about that. Dave's the one who actually takes care of a lot of the IDX applications. Why don't you tell them a little bit about IDX, Dave?
Absolutely. So the way IDX works is, again, as Dawn mentioned, it helps you two different ways. The IDX is great because if you put your listings into the IDX, it's going to allow you to get more exposure on your listings because it's going to appear on those IDX sites from other members. Getting the IDX for your site also helps you because, as Dawn mentioned, it's going to make you look larger as a company, as a business, because not only are you going to have your personal listings on your website, you're also going to have the thousands of listings in our IDX now appearing on your site. So if someone is to come to your page, they're browsing your site, they're going to see these thousands of listings on your site, and if there's anything that they're interested in, because they're on your site, they're going directly to you, and that's great for you because now you have a buying customer and you can help them buy that property that they found on your site that they may not have necessarily seen before or you may not have brought to their attention. And IDX is available across all different platforms, whether you're an individual salesperson and you want it on your site because you're just starting out, you want to get more traffic going to you. It's great for yourself. We also have it for company websites as well. So if you're a company and you want to, again, expand your brand, the IDX is one of the best ways you can do that because not only are you getting the listings from your agents that are in-house, but now you're getting thousands of listings from the various members of the MLS across the entire state. So it's a great way to really generate additional traffic, and it could really bring in more sales to you.
Right, and on the resources and forms page, there's a very easy application for the IDX, and there's rules explained about how IDX works and how you actually get those listings. There are rules regarding how IDX works. But I think those rules are pretty standard across the industry. Being with the New York State MLS, you're going to get a lot of different listings if you already have, if you're with another MLS and you already have those IDX listings, you're going to fill in a lot of different listings that we have as, because we've grown to the point now where so many people are, were originally members of their original MLS, but at this point now, New York State MLS is a lot of people's just their MLS. That's what they use. So we have a lot of really unique properties, a lot of properties that are not found anywhere else. And I think that to have those on your site, that would always be beneficial to you. And when you fill out that form, the fillable PDF for IDX, if you want to get IDX listings, then you just send that filled out form to office@nystatemls.com. You can send it direct to Dave at nystatemls.com as well. And if you don't know how to get IDX on your site, just send us an email. I want to get IDX on my site, but I don't know how it works. We can explain that in more detail. Dave, I want to show them one other thing too. Before I do, Ken is asking, what is the cost to put the New York State MLS IDX listings on the site? We do have a cost for it. It's $200, a one-time setup fee of $200 to set up the feed. And then the monthly fee can vary based on the size of your firm. So you're going to have to contact us. We'll get you that pricing. Contact us directly.
Yeah, Ken, you and I can discuss that because, again, depending on what you want to do with the IDX, we're very flexible on how we can offer that to you, especially if you want it on a company site. There's a lot of different ways that we can go about handling that for you, especially if you were interested in getting office pricing as well. There's a lot that we can do in order to help you make it the most affordable possible because we can bundle in that IDX with the office pricing and everything would be, just a much more affordable package. And that's something we can certainly talk about as well.
Yeah, definitely. Just contact us. Also on the right-hand side of this page that Dave has up, we have listing contracts, the exclusive right to sell, exclusive agency listing contracts you can use. We always allow our members to use any listing contract that is that works for their brokerage, but if they don't have their own listing contract, you're certainly welcome to use our forms. Dave, I want to show them the new tax record search too while we have everybody here. we have a brand new feature. I'm really excited about it. We can search the tax records. We've always had this tax record search, but we've enhanced it. We now allow you to search the State Office of Real Property Records sold data by property type, date, and price. And how this is different, and it's a little different than what Find has. Some of you know what Find has. Find has something like this as well. But this allows you to search for things that you could never search for before. I'll give you an idea. Go to County Saratoga. And in the sale date, just pick something back, go back just a few months, go back maybe to June 1st or something. Try that. Now pick on property type. And in property type, you have your choice here. You can choose from agricultural property types, residential, vacant land, commercial, recreational. If you're doing a CMA, let's say on a two-family, and it has to be a two-family, you're very specific about that, that you want to click on 200 residential, and you'll be able to select from the list here. Actually, click two-family, and you can be very specific. You can collect multi-residence, which is like 2 houses on a lot, 3-family. You can be very specific about the property type, but just click OK here. And in price, just put something over 100,000, just so I get over 100,000. And click search. And what you're going to get here is a list of properties that sold, whether on the MLS or not on the MLS. It didn't matter if these were properties that were for sale by owner or that were transferred between families. This is basically every transfer of every property in the state. Now, some of the counties, they're behind giving this information, so you may not find stuff from yesterday because it does take them a little bit to enter it. But we have some, very recent stuff that closed even as recent as September 29th. I see just right here on this list. And the 220 class is the 2-family. So you're going to be able to see very specific property types. You're going to be able to look for things like 1-family with an accessory unit. You're going to be able to find commercial properties if you need very specifically to find a gas station that's sold, or I don't know if any gas stations have sold in Saratoga, but we could easily do that by clicking Show the Filters. Look under property type. We can change that to commercial. And actually, we could do gas. We could do, let's pick anything. Pick, Dave, pick mobile home parks, or right there on the left under motel. You can be specific. You can click a mobile home park. You can click hotel, motel, apartments. You can check those off. Click OK. Now you're going to have to go back in time more because I think from June you might not find something. Just go back a couple years or a couple months, years, however. Yeah, go back a year. Click search. And let's see if anything in that category is shown. This is always risky to do right on a live webinar, but oh, look, we found some. Very exciting. 411 are apartments, either 4-family and above. So sometimes those are also condos in apartments, 411 class. And actually, Dave, uncheck 411. Let's get rid of 411. Show filters, uncheck. Yeah, just check mobile home parks, motels, and hotels. And click OK. Click search. See if we get anything. Again, risky. Ooh, look, we got something. Let's click on that first one and see what it is. And you'll see duplicates because there's more than one owner name, usually. This is a property that's sold in Saratoga County. It's a commercial property. Its class is a 415 motel. And we have some information about it. It's on 9.47 acres. We can see who sold it, who bought it, what the deed date was, what the sale date was. We can also see the tax amounts under tax and values. And we can import this into a CMA. And we can do that with any of our property records. We can just click on the blue button at the top there that says Add to CMA. We can also import it into a listing to start a listing that way. So we can, there's a really great video. There's a long process a little bit to making a CMA. There's a great video on the training sheets that I did that will show you how to make a CMA from these tax records. But what's really exciting about it is being able to really drill down on that property type. A lot of times it's really hard. You get to a property, you want to list it, you can't figure out how to pull comps on that property because it's a property type that's you know, throws into a generic commercial area. So it's really helpful if you're looking for specific property types. And you can watch that video on how to make a CMA, how to search the tax records. You can watch a lot of the training videos. You can also print out the sheets. We had somebody ask earlier. They asked if you are in more than one MLS, you know, how does Zillow take listings? Do they take duplicates? Zillow pretty much takes first come, first serve listings. They don't display duplicates. They also, this is kind of important, they don't take a listing that's a rental and a sale. They take one or the other. So if you're putting a listing on, you want it to be on Zillow, they're going to take the first one they get. If they get it as a sale listing, they're not going to display it as a rental if you put it on both ways. Elaine is asking, when will this go live? Elaine, this site's live now. This is the live New York State MLS. If you're a member and you log in, you will see all of this, and you will also see these CMA features. Everything that we're showing you is live today. The membership to join is $300 a month for $300 a year. Sorry, it's not $300 a month. It's $300 a year. Or you can pay $29.99 monthly, and that's billed to your credit card. The only other fees involved are if you do want to get IDX. IDX is separate fees. It's $200 one-time setup fee for a feed, and then the monthly fees vary based on the size of your firm. We do have discounted office pricing. Discounted office pricing is available. We're really broker friendly, and we want the brokers to know that they can get discounted office pricing where all of their agents in the office can sign up. It's a great recruiting tool. It's a great way to reach out to agents and let them know that you have this extra tool for them. So any brokers out there that are part of a larger organization looking for discounted office pricing, they can contact us for that. We have that available. New York State MLS lets you see listings that are on New York State MLS. But if you go to Find, I think maybe she's asking about Find. Dave, show them Find. Find lets you see pretty much all the listings in the country and all the other MLSs. So if you want to see something in Brooklyn, and we type Brooklyn, New York, and we type active or for sale, and you will see actually New York State MLS has more listings in Brooklyn. We had active. Go back to active. There you go, right there. More active listings than any of the other services. So New York State MLS is a powerhouse. It's a place where you want to have your listings. If you don't have your listings there, you are not in the place where the most listings are. Especially here in Brooklyn, as you can see on the left-hand side there with New York State MLS at the top of the listing count for active properties. And if you're not using New York State MLS to search, like in Brooklyn here, you are missing out on a lot of properties. Diane wants me to review syndications. Can we go back to the syndication sheet? The syndication sheet, this is where our listings go. But it goes to Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, Home Finder Homes, Realestate.com, Realty Track, LandWatch, Apartments.com. That's a huge one for you guys in the city. It's Apartments.com. They are getting so much traffic. It's unbelievable. And just by being on New York State MLS, your listings do get to Apartments.com. And the leads go right to you. So if there's any other questions, put them in that question tab. You can always email us if you have a question you don't want to share with everybody, info@nystatemls.com, info@nystatemls.com. Oh yeah, there it is. There's our number. And oh, you can chat us. We have a chat. Right on the homepage. Go to nystatemls.com. Little chat guy pops up. Ask us anything you want. And we'll do private webinars, private trainings for you as well if you like to set that up for your office. Customer support, that's 888-769-7657. Customer support's 888-769-7657. Super easy to remember because it's 888-7-NYSMLS. 888-7-NYSMLS is our phone number. Thank you all. Thank you, Dave. Great job today, Dave, really. And thank you, everybody. We'll be doing more of these webinars in the future. Just keep your eye out for them. And also like our Facebook page because we post all of our trainings and all of our goings-on our Facebook page, nystatemls.com Facebook page. So be sure to reach out and like that for us.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a great day. As Dawn mentioned, we'll be doing more of these. And of course, you can always go back to our website and check out those training sheets, those training videos. Those will definitely help you as well. We'll probably be putting this one up here as well. And of course, we will also be doing more training videos, more training sheets. As we go forward, we'll be adding more of those as well. Again, we did mention the pricing is $29.99 a month a year. Or excuse me, $29.99 a month, or $300 for the full year. If you are interested in office pricing, we also have that as well, and that is $300 for the year. For office pricing is based on the size of your office. If you're interested in that, just give me a call, 888-769-7657. Go ahead and ask for me, or you can go ahead and just give us an email. Shoot me an email, dave@nystatemls.com. I'd love to hear from you. So have a great afternoon. Well, it's still morning, so enjoy the rest of your morning, enjoy your afternoon, enjoy your evening, and we'll be seeing you real soon.